Hello, everybody. I am Ant, and you are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, WWE SummerSlam 2022 Prediction Special. I cannot believe that we are already at SummerSlam. I feel like we're a little bit early. Normally, they have SummerSlams in August, but hey, it's July. I can't complain. We're at the end of July. School is about to start up again. I'm ready to have a big party and celebrate the beginning of SummerSlam and the beginning of a great night that's going to happen live tonight, only on pay-per-view that you could buy through your cable provider. If you're in the States, you could check it out on Peacock. If you're out of the States, you can check out SummerSlam live on the WWE Network, which I wish I was out of the States so I could watch it on the network. But if you have a VPN, you can do that. So we're going to just go over the matches. I'm going to give you my predictions for the SummerSlam pay-per-view, give you my thoughts on who's going to win, and hey, maybe I'll retain my title. So before we dive right in, I want to first thank you for checking us out. We are the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. This channel brings you everything WWE, AEW, and so much more. The channel is rebranding pretty soon, so new stuff's going to be coming out. Our new series, Ladies of the Ring Remixed, is coming out. Special episodes talking about females in WWE and other promotions, celebrating their careers and their triumphs in professional wrestling. We also have our Broken Skull Sessions recap series that's continuing on. In August, we have the special Randy Orton recap and the special Y2J Chris Jericho recap, both great episodes. Check those out in August. And the easiest way to stay tuned and to know when this new stuff is posted is by subscribing to us. You could check us out on YouTube. Just search the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, hit the subscribe button, and once you do that, you no longer have to search for us. You can also hit the notification bell so that anytime we post a new video, you get notified to your cell phone and you can watch it. And you can subscribe, and then also you can like as well, like our videos, and leave a comment. We'd like to know, what are your predictions? Let us know today. Who do you think is going to win the Undisputed title at SummerSlam? Who's going to walk out Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, the Undisputed Tag titles are on the line. So much to talk about. Check us out on YouTube. Also, we are available to stream wherever podcasts are available. So what I mean by that is check us out on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, literally wherever you could stream a podcast. That's where we are. Just search the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast and give us a 5-star rating. We appreciate it. So let's dive right into SummerSlam. There are 8 matches on the card. And a lot of people are talking about Seth Rollins. We will talk about that. But let's just dive right into the matches that we know are definitely happening. We're going to talk about Logan Paul taking on The Miz. For this match goes back to WrestleMania when The Miz teamed up with Logan. And after their match against the Mysterios, The Miz ended up turning on Logan Paul and nailing a skull-crushing finale. Miz finds out that Logan Paul is potentially going to come back for SummerSlam, and he wants to team up again with Paul, but Paul signs a WWE contract and tells him, I don't want to sign with you. I want to beat you up. And lately, this whole storyline with The Miz has been going on about his ball size, which I don't even want to get to here. But this past week on Raw, we opened up with The Miz and Logan Paul having a brawl after weeks of The Miz attacking Paul from behind and nonstop action from back and forth. So these two have a brawl, and then eventually The Miz Maryse comes out during the Logan Paul's talk show, and Impulsive is what it's called, which I've never listened to. You can actually check it out on a podcast, which I've never listened to before, but that's okay. Anyways, Maryse comes out and basically just tells off Logan Paul, which then leads The Miz to come out, and then Ciampa attacks Logan Paul from behind, and Miz and Ciampa are triumphant, leaving Logan Paul down in the dust. Now, for SummerSlam, it's going to be The Miz versus Logan Paul. I think this will be a good match. Miz keeps talking about how much Logan Paul has trained and how good he looks in the ring. So I think these two can have a good match. It's The Miz. The Miz is awesome. No pun intended. but he always does deliver. So I think that this will be a good match. I don't know if it will be a match of the night, but it will be a good match. And I think Logan Paul is going to end up taking the victory in this one. I don't see how they're going to have The Miz win, although they could have Ciampa and Maryse be a distraction. But I feel like this storyline needs to end. But who knows? I could be wrong and they could keep it going to Survivor Series. But I do think that Logan Paul needs to get one up is on The Miz. And I think that will happen live at SummerSlam. So my pick for Logan Paul versus The Miz, Logan Paul. Okay. Next match we're going to talk about is for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. The women's champion, Liv Morgan, defending against Ronda Rousey, the former champion. For those of you who don't remember, Liv Morgan won the Money in the Bank contract at Money in the Bank. Later on, defeated Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's title at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And then on SmackDown, a couple weeks later, Ronda Rousey would become the number one contender. And this past week on SmackDown, Ronda and Liv teamed together and defeated the team of Natalya and Sonya Deville. And it looks like these two are having a whole respect type situation. I am a little confused with Ronda because she did insult someone in the crowd. I thought she was a face, but Ronda is Ronda. But going into this match at SummerSlam, these two have a whole little respect factor there. So in my opinion, first of all, I think Liv Morgan is a great competitor. Number one, she's great in the ring. The fans love her. I like her as a person. I think she means what she says, and she does deliver a lot of the time. Ronda Rousey is good in the ring too, not so great on the mic, but she's Ronda Rousey. Doesn't need to be great on the mic, in my opinion. I think they will have a good match, but I do think Liv Morgan is going to win this one. I don't see them having her win the title and just have her drop it immediately. She's been doing pretty well holding the title. She really appreciates holding the belt, and she's been delivering in her matches. So my pick for Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey, Liv is going to win. I do think something might happen either during the match or after. Maybe we might have a Charlotte Flair return. Maybe we'll have a Bayley return. Something's going to happen, I think, with the SmackDown Women's title. But Liv Morgan is going to win that one. All right, we now have the WWE United States Championship on the line. The United States Champion Bobby Lashley defending against Theory. Now, Bobby Lashley defeated Theory for the U.S. title at Money in the Bank. And then Theory was later on added to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match later on in the night, and Theory would go on to win that match. And for weeks, Theory has been taunting about how he wants to be U.S. champion, but he also is looking to cash in his Money in the Bank contract later on after the Undisputed title match or during it. We don't know when. So he will be taking on Bobby Lashley for U.S. title, but his mind is somewhere else right now. But Bobby Lashley, that's a good thing for him because Bobby Lashley is a force to be reckoned with. And if he thinks about Lashley, he's going to be fucked. But he does need to worry about Lashley because if he doesn't, Lashley will just destroy him. As far as this match, I think Lashley is going to win. I was thinking earlier maybe it would be cool if Theory won the U.S. title and then try to go after the Undisputed title. But I think Bobby Lashley is going to win this one. And I think it will be a decent match. Again, not going to be a barn burner, but I think Bobby Lashley and Theory will have a decent match at SummerSlam. And I think Theory will go on to make a move later. But my thoughts on that match is going to be Bobby Lashley. He's just dominant. He's a fucking beast. I love Bobby Lashley. So Lashley's going to win. Next, we have Happy Corbin taking on Pat McAfee. This is going to be an interesting match. For weeks, Happy Corbin has been antagonizing Pat McAfee. The two have brawled. They've been separated. This past week on SmackDown, Happy Corbin was tossing popcorn in Pat McAfee's face. Again, they had to be separated. But tonight at SummerSlam, the two are finally going to come head to head. I know Pat McAfee is a great talent. I saw him in NXT. He did great things. WrestleMania, he had a decent showing. Happy Corbin is a wrestler that kind of is underwhelming sometimes. But I do think with this pairing of Pat McAfee, the two of them will deliver. I do like Happy Corbin, but I think we need to see a change in direction of something for him. For this match, it will be good. I see Pat McAfee winning. Because why else are you going to have Pat McAfee lose? Unless, again, they're going to save it for another pay-per-view. But I think it will be a decent match, but I don't see Happy Corbin winning. I think Corbin will bring it all to McAfee. I think he'll beat the crap out of him. But I think in the end, McAfee's going to find some way to get the win. So Pat McAfee's got my vote for that match. Next, we have the special no disqualification match. This is a special tag match that was just made this past week on Raw. The Mysterios taking on the Judgment Day with Rhea Ripley. The Judgment Day totally ruining and spoiling Rey Mysterio's 20th anniversary on Raw after they attacked Mysterio. Rhea Ripley attacked his arm. She dragged Dominic backstage. Rhea Ripley got in Aaliyah's face. They just totally ruined Rey Mysterio's night. And tonight at SummerSlam, the Mysterios are looking to get revenge. Now, for weeks, we've been seeing promos for someone's coming. Everyone thinks it's Edge. I have a feeling it's Edge too, based on some of the little different, little, what do they call them? Little cookies or little things that you could spot in the crowd, crumbs. But anyways, I think it's going to be Edge. And I think this, because this match is a no disqualification match, I think Edge is going to find a way to come out, help the Mysterios get the victory, screw over Judgment Day, let them have a bad night. But I do think it will be a good match. I think there will be a lot of notification elements being used, with Damian Priest just being a monster that he is. Finn Balor's all around the world known for a great athlete. Rey is great, obviously 20 years in WWE, awesome. And Dominic is cool too. He's getting there. So I think they're going to have a good match, but I do think Mysterios are going to win with the help of Edge. Prove me wrong. Next, we have the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships on the line. The champions, the Usos, defending against the Street Profits. This match has a special addition to it, though, as a special guest referee for this contest will be Jeff Jarrett. And we found out this past week on SmackDown that Jeff Jarrett said, listen, at SummerSlam, you two can do whatever you want. I'm just there to make the count. And these two had a barn burner of a match. They killed it at the last pay-per-view, which was Money in the Bank. They pretty much stole the show, in my opinion. They're probably going to do it again tonight. It's going to be a great tag match. The Usos and Street Profits have great chemistry together. Whenever they come together, they're great. The Usos are a great tag team. They're not my favorite, but when it does come time for them to deliver, they always do. So they're definitely out there in the best tag teams, but not my favorite. I think for this one, the Street Profits need to get a win. If they don't, they need to break up, because so far the Profits have never been able to get the victory over the Usos. Every time they fought, the Usos have always gotten the win. They've been fighting for months, it seems. Profits need to get a win. I think Jarrett's going to get involved in some way, shape, or form, which will eventually end up helping out the Street Profits. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a whole like Jarrett. I think Jarrett's definitely going to get involved. I think a guitar is probably going to get thrown. Something like that's going to happen. And I have a feeling that the Profits are going to take home the tag titles. You know, it's going to be a little strange because right now Roman Reigns and the Bloodline and the Usos are all dominant together, but they don't need to be dominant to be tag team champions, you know? So I think the Profits are going home with the tag team titles tonight. All right. We now have our Raw Women's Championship, a rematch from last year's SummerSlam and WrestleMania. Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair taking on the man, big-time Becky Lynch. This match has been going on since last year at SummerSlam when Becky Lynch surprised the world, defeated Bianca Belair in like under 30, whatever it was, seconds, and surprised the world with that. The two of them did fight again at Extreme Rules, and then again at just I think it was, I forgot which, it was the Saudi Arabia show they fought again too there, and they fought at WrestleMania, and Bianca Belair was able to defeat Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title. The past couple of weeks, Becky Lynch has been involved in an issue with Asuka, and Bianca Belair has been challenging women like Carmella and many others that have stepped to the plate. And now Becky Lynch says she wants her rematch. She wants Bianca. Bianca agreed. Bianca is now going to fight Becky again. And I think this match I'm looking forward to. A lot of people are saying they hope it's a quick match. I really don't hope it's a quick match. I hope that it takes some time because I like both of these women and I think they're both great athletes. I don't like it when they do quick finishes. It would be good to sort of like, eclipse Becky's history in that sense of beating her. But in my eyes, keep it that way. Let the two have a good match. I think Bianca Belair is going to win, but I always have to go with the one that I like. So I'm going with Becky Lynch. I think I don't think she's necessarily going to win, but I'm going to root for her. Why not? She's big time Becky Lynch. So I love you, Becky. I'm rooting for you. I'm going with you. It's okay. It's my show. I can be as pretty much as selfish as I want when I pick these predictions. So before I go with our main event, Seth Rollins was supposed to fight Riddle, but Riddle sustained an injury after Rollins attacked him this past week on Raw. And Rollins is very frustrated about not being able to compete on the card. Triple H sent out a tweet saying, "I hear you." So there's rumors that Rollins will be competing tonight. I don't want to get into who I think he's going to fight because I have no idea who it will be. You guys let me know in the comments who you think Seth Rollins is going to fight tonight. But I do think Seth Rollins is going to have a match. Not sure against who. All right. In our main event of SummerSlam, the WWE Undisputed Championship is on the line. The Undisputed Champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman defending against Brock Lesnar in a last man standing match. This match is being billed as the last time these two are going to fight. Paul Heyman just said this past week on SmackDown, after Roman Reigns defeats Brock Lesnar, they will be done with him for good. Is this the end of Brock Lesnar's time in the company? I think these two have so much history. They fought at WrestleMania. They've been fighting at WrestleManias in the past. They've been fighting on Raws. They've done other pay-per-views. If this is the last match in their saga, I'm excited for it. I'm excited with the whole last man standing element. It's going to be a brutal brawl. I think the beast Brock Lesnar is going to give it his all, and I think he's going to pretty much try to destroy Roman, but I think something's going to happen. Roman's going to be able to retain the title, unfortunately. But I do think that Theory will try to cash in the Money in the Bank, and I think Theory will lose, which will be funny in my eyes. But I think SummerSlam is going to end with Roman Reigns being your Universal Undisputed Champion. So let me just go over the card really quick again before we send off to SummerSlam. We have The Miz taking on Logan Paul. Which Hollywood man is going to come out on top? The WWE SmackDown Women's Championship on the line. The SmackDown Women's Champion Liv Morgan defending against Rowdy Ronda Rousey. That match is going to be epic. The WWE United States Championship on the line. The United States Champion Bobby Lashley defending against Mr. Money in the Bank, Theory. Theory has his eyes set on the Undisputed Universal title. Will he be able to take out Bobby Lashley? We'll see. We then have Pat McAfee taking on Happy Corbin. Happy Corbin has been making Pat McAfee very sad. Will Pat McAfee take out Happy Corbin? Find out. The special no disqualification tag team match, the Judgment Day, the team of Finn Balor and Damian Priest with Rhea Ripley by their side taking on the Mysterios. Which team will walk out victorious? We have the special WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships on the line with special guest referee Double J Jeff Jarrett. This Undisputed Tag Team Champions is the Usos defending against the Street Profits. Match of the Year candidate could be tonight on pay-per-view. The WWE Raw Women's Championship on the line. The Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair defending against Becky Lynch. A year in the making. Check that one out. And the end of all ends, the final match between these two, the last man standing match for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. The Undisputed Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns against the Beast Brock Lesnar in a last man standing match, an epic encounter. All of this comes to you live starting at 8 o'clock. You can check out the kickoff show on YouTube, or you can check it out on Peacock or the WWE Network. And then SummerSlam starts live from Nashville, Tennessee at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's going to be a great night. SummerSlam. I feel the energy is in the air. Will Seth Rollins come out what will happen. This is the first WWE pay-per-view without Vince McMahon in a long time. Is it a new era? We will see. I hope you guys have a good night. Stay safe and enjoy SummerSlam 2022.